we're going to continue our character trait lessons. The next 2 months, we're going to talk about self-control. Okay, who knows what self-control might mean? You have any idea, Philip?
Not just going crazy.
Yeah, not just, exactly. Yes, that's a great example. Not just going crazy and not just doing whatever you want. Cameron, what was your idea?
Control your body.
Yes, you have to control your body. Keep your hands and your feet to yourself. How many times do we say that at school to kids? Keep your hands to yourself. Good. Some other terms or words that they use to describe self-control means to behave, to use your manners, to do what's right even without being told. So somebody shouldn't always have to tell you how to act, because you should know. You should have self-control. To use good judgment, to have self-discipline, to restrain yourself, to act maturely, and don't depend on others to make you do something that's right. And like Philip said, to not let yourself get all crazy and out of control, and to not misbehave. Next month we'll talk about how Jesus used self-control, but this month I'm going to talk about a little boy who did not show self-control. So I'm going to share a story with you about this boy who had trouble with that. It said everyone was excited about the magician that was coming to Glenwood Elementary School. Before the children went to the auditorium for the show, the teacher made an announcement. I want all of you to be on your best behavior today during the program. Stay in your seat and remember to keep your hands to yourselves. Don't be a talker, be a listener. And remember to use your manners, she said as she gave the signal for them to line up. Bailey lined up behind Max. Everyone walked in a single line to the auditorium, except Max. Whenever the teacher wasn't looking, Max ran ahead and tried to cut in the line, but no one would let him. The teacher was sitting 2 rows in front of Max and Bailey as the magician began to perform. Hello, boys and girls. My name is Zomba the Great. More like Dumbo the Great, if you ask me, said Max. Was that showing self-control? Ooh, he was thinking saying what he was thinking when he probably shouldn't have. Bailey ignored Max and continued to watch the show. First, Zombo pulled a long line of colored handkerchiefs out of his sleeve, which turned into a big bouquet of flowers. Everyone clapped except Max. He was too busy pulling the ribbons off the braids of the girl sitting in front of him. Then Zombo made his assistant disappear, and Max put his hands over Bailey's eyes and said, "Look, Bailey, I made everybody disappear, didn't I?" And Bailey wished she could sit by someone else. When everyone thought Zombo was going to pull a rabbit out of a hat, he surprised them by pulling a snake out instead. Max started making hissing sounds and wiggling his arms around in the air. Then he pretended that his snake bit everyone around him. The children were getting tired of Max's behavior. They just wanted to watch the show. Then Zombo asked for a volunteer to come to the stage and help him. Max stood up in his chair and waved his arms wildly, yelling, "Pick me, pick me, pick me." You think he picked him? No. No, teachers and people don't like when you do that. Stay in your seat. They like the good little kid that's sitting on their pockets, raising their hand, don't they? "You're a loser," said Max as he fell out of his chair and into the aisle. The teacher took Max by the arm and led him out of the auditorium. "It looks like you have not learned how to control yourself," the teacher said, "so you can spend the rest of the morning," where do you think?
In the office?
In the office, in the principal's office. Meanwhile, Bailey and the other children were having fun. They sat still, using their manners, while they watched Zombo close up a big box with a black tiger in it. When he opened it up again, the tiger was gone, and a flock of doves flew over the audience. So why do you think Max behaved so badly? What do you think his problem was? Why did he keep picking on people and making scenes? You think he was trying to maybe get attention? Did he show good self-control? No. So, and we talked about this. Why did Zombo choose somebody else? Why didn't he choose Max when Max was screaming, "Pick me, pick me"? Why didn't he choose him?
Because he's not showing self-control.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't sitting there listening and just waiting his turn. Okay, Okay, I'm going to show you, Connor's going to help me. I'm going to show you just a little bit of a demonstration of probably what Max didn't have his mind on, and sometimes we don't have our minds on either when we get in situations where we're tempted to do things. You want to stand up there, Connor? I'm going to try to walk to Connor. Connor's holding a picture of Jesus, which is always what we're supposed to have our mind on. And I'm going to try carefully to balance and while keeping my eyes on Jesus, okay? Okay, how'd I do? Good. Okay, now tell me some things in life that might distract us from using self-control. Try to give me 4 things. These are going to be like our little obstacles in life. What's one thing that might get in your way? Cam? No, I'm thinking of something that would distract you from using self-control. How about yesterday, Cameron, when the ref called a foul on you? Did you use good self-control when you did this? Like, what? Me? Okay, so if you get in the middle of a game and you get a little heated, you'll probably lose some of your self-control because you're competitive and you didn't think the foul was on you. So you might throw your hands up in the air. What about if your friends are all doing something that you know is wrong and you join them? Would that be using good self-control? No, that'd be bad, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm going to have you guys take one scoop back, and I'm going to set this obstacle right there, okay? What about if you're in class, you're taking a test. You know the teacher has the answers laying on her desk, and she has to leave the room for an emergency. Would you show good self-control if you went and copied the answers? No, that might be another temptation or something distracting in life. Who has another one? Now you guys try to think of one. I gave you 3 ideas. What else could distract you from using self-control? What if you got an Easter basket full of chocolate candy and you ate the entire basket, 50 candy bars in one night? Would that be good self-control? Would you maybe get sick? You may be, okay? Those are all things that distract us. And when we get distracted, what do we do when we get distracted? Do we keep our eyes on Jesus or do we take them off? Not when we're distracted. When we get distracted, I don't think you had your eyes on Jesus when you were throwing your hands up in the air in the game yesterday. Because we get distracted, don't we? Oh, man. I'm trying, Jesus, I'm trying. Oh, man. Another roadblock. Oh, but I just want to cheat. I just want those answers. Oh, man. Oh, there goes my hair. Okay, what was the difference in my walk that time? What was the difference? Philip?
There's obstacles.
Yeah, there's obstacles. Do we have those every day? You don't, Cameron? Your life is perfect? Yeah, we have obstacles every day, don't we? We have things that get in our way and things that distract us and help and take our minds off of Jesus. We have temptations. We have distractions. But our path, our walk is a lot better if we try to keep our eyes on Jesus, isn't it? Do only kids have problems with self-control? Or can adults have problems with it too? Yeah. Ask Brad how I am at a basketball game. He doesn't like to sit by me. Sometimes I even lose my self-control. It happens to adults too, doesn't it? I'm going to share a couple Bible verses with you before you go. Romans 12:9 says to hate what is evil and cling to what is good. So try always keeping your eyes on Jesus. Romans 12:17 says do not repay anyone evil for evil. So if somebody's being mean to you or if somebody's doing bad things, should we do it too? No, probably not. That's not keeping our eyes on Jesus. Romans 13:3 says, do you want to be free from the fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right. Okay, so in all circumstances, if you try to keep your eyes on Jesus and keep your focus, your walk will go a little easier. If you take your eyes off of Jesus, you're going to get distracted.